Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my garden. Today we're going to talk about knitting. Um, I have one finished object to share with you. I have a couple works in progress and talk about some new projects that I'm working on or dreaming about working on right now. All right, knitting friends, grab a drink and let's talk about my first finished object. Speaking of my drink, today I am drinking raspberry leaf tea, which you can buy from the store, or I just pick mine from my garden. um, I put a little bit of vanilla in it as well, and it tastes really good. Yeah, that's really good. Raspberry leaf is actually really good for female health. I'm not sure all the details. I just know it tastes good. It does have a very tea-like flavor. It doesn't have a raspberry flavor at all. Like, actually, I have I have vanilla in here too, so I'm trying to tell you the difference. It's a very mellow flavor if you've never had it before. I would call it very soothing. I usually drink raspberry leaf or I have a lot of mint in my garden. So for not having a video at all during May, I should have tons of finished objects for you today, and I don't. May was so busy. Um, we had a graduation, we had end of school year, and I don't even know. May just flew. There was just a lot of stress, job stress, and just everything is now it's summer. Now it's summer. I have more free time, and I am planning on doing a lot of knitting this summer. So let's talk about what I did finish, which is one thing, and a few things about these. I do have a lot of occasions where I'm going to see family or be with family this summer. So I want to make several pairs of socks that I could potentially gift out. So these are a pretty small pair of socks. These wouldn't normally fit me, but I'm kind of thinking I might have made them a little too small. This is Unicorn Party, and this is a yarn from Drops. It's a superwash 4-ply. It comes in 50-gram balls. I actually got it from Lindy Hobby online, but I think you can get it on Amazon right now. It's 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and it is fingering weight. Let's just show you these a little bit closer. So I haven't sewn in the ends yet because I'm thinking about ripping the toe out and extending them just a little bit longer. They might be a little bit too short. But if you want, I wanted to kind of give you a little closer up of the fabric. So I used a 1.5 needle, and these are cast on at a 64 count. I do the heel flap and gusset. I did not do any slip stitches on the heel. I just made it a straight heel, and it's more of a shorty sock. It's not a true shorty where it's short, but it is a shorter sock. This fabric, it feels kind of thin when you're knitting it up, so these would probably be really great for summer socks. But I don't know how durable it will be. Although it does have that nylon in it, so it should be durable. It just feels thin. It doesn't feel fluffy. I also haven't washed these yet because I probably will rip out the toe and make them just a little bit longer. Because according to my sock ruler, let's measure them. They're like from the heel to the toe, it measures out to 7.5 inches. So I'll just have to find out what shoe size that is and find out if anybody I know has that shoe size. So I'm not going to rip the toe out yet until I know for sure somebody can wear them as they are. If not, then I will make them just a little bit longer because I do have some more of that yarn left. And this was just a 50-gram ball. So if you have little feet, you definitely could get a pair of shorty socks with a 50-gram ball. Okay, I don't have little feet. I don't have that luxury, but it did make these work up real fast. Now, that is all my finished objects for today. Now let's talk about works in progress. The first one I'm going to show you is a work in progress that I showed you last time, but it's nearly done now. So I showed you these socks that I made, and I also have not sewn in the ends yet for this. So this is the March Colorwork Cuff Club by Summer Lee, and that is her, it reminds me of a daisy, so I wanted it to look like a daisy, but I didn't do the floats well enough. So this is, I do have someone in mind that I think will be able to fit it. So I made them a little shorter for that person that I think might fit them. If they don't, then we'll find someone else. But there's one sock, and the other sock is almost at the toe. Let's see, we are that close from being done with those. So those are just about done. Those should be done by the next podcast. Those are, I consider them practically done. I just know, like, as soon as I start working on them again, I'm just going to want to sit and finish them completely. Some of the yarn that I used for those, I should show you. These are both Knit Picks yarns. This one on top is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in Lost Lake Heather. Isn't that just a beautiful color? I absolutely love this color. I'm not sure if it's in stock right now. It goes out of stock all the time, I think. I think because it's so pretty. It's like got a teal and then a darker, it kind of leans kind of brown teal. And then this is just a white Stroll Knit Picks. So the tweed has 65% superwash merino and 25% nylon and 10% of the Donegal tweed. And then I might not have written anything about the Swift, what did I just call it? Just stroll fingering, I believe is what it's called. Okay, and then let's talk about this yarn. This is a really fun yarn. It is inspired by Vincent van Gogh's painting, Sunflowers. And this is from the company Opal. And they have a few different colorways of this. I bought this one off Lindy Hobby, I believe. It is 75% wool, 25% polyamide. It's a 100-gram ball. It's super fine sock weight yarn. Okay, I have already made 2 socks. Oop. 2 socks. Now, granted, I used the teal on the top and the toes, but so it's the pattern has already repeated once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and I still have, this still looks like a lot of yarn. I will weigh it when I'm done, but I'm sure this might be 65 grams here. Definitely can make another pair of socks with this, just on their own without the extra colors. So I'm going to be making another pair of socks with that. It might end up being more for the fall. We'll see. Okay. One more sock whip while we're talking about socks. It is going to be a sock summer, I believe. I really enjoy knitting socks. I'm starting to get a little bored of the vanilla sock knit, but then I also love having a vanilla sock knit. Just a stockinette fingering weight, sit down, watch TV, and knit away. Race to the finish. I have been knitting for the last 3 days. I have ended up getting a whole sock done just when I sat down to work on it. So this is Knit Picks Filicini. It's the smaller striped yarn, the ones that they had a while back in the 100-gram skeins. Something funny that I did. So when I bought the first round of Filicini that came out, I think there's only been one round, but the first time I purchased it, I purchased 2 balls thinking it was 50 grams, not really paying attention to the price. Like I should have read it. So I get it and I'm like, oh, that's really big. So, but it's the socks that I made for my father-in-law, and I made my husband a pair. I could probably even make another pair. I ended up holding them double and marled them with just a bare Felici that I had in my stash. And they turned out really nice, soft and squishy. I just love their Felici yarn. It blooms so beautifully. I haven't washed these yet, but it just makes such a beautiful sock. I just really love. So this is the concession stand colorway. I don't believe they still have it available. I think it is gone from their store now. I used the dogwood heather tweed, stroll tweed for the heels, toes, and cuffs. And these are going to be a gift as well. So I just started my second sock. We are this far. So maybe by the end of the week, I'll have these finished as well. And I'm sure I can get another pair of socks because I didn't weigh this either, but at the end of my second sock, I'll weigh it and see how much I have left. But there's still a lot. I mean, it feels like there's probably still 80 grams on here. I don't know. Okay, tea break. My dog's just kind of roaming the garden while we sit here. Oh, the wind picked up. Probably need to carry the hammocks in. It might rain. Okay. If you've been here for any of my past or my most recent past podcast, I talked about a sweater that I cast on. It's from one of my favorite books, and I've been using this book because I'm fairly new to sweater knitting, and it has been really easy for me to learn with this book. And I have it here. It is Seamless Knit Sweaters in 2 weeks. Obviously, I'm not getting this made in 2 weeks, but I am definitely making it longer than it's supposed to be. So I want it to be like a long tunic to wear around the house with stretch pants and kind of that cozy evening pajama vibe going on. So far, I've got it all the way. I'm going to have to try it on or something for you. Let's see. See if I can try it on. It's very long already. But I would like it to probably be just maybe another inch, and then I'll start the ribbing. Maybe 2 inches. Maybe I want it. It depends how long I want to do the ribbing. And then I'll start the sleeves. I should have plenty of yarn because I'm pretty sure I still have like 4 balls. I definitely overbought yarn because I knew I wanted to have plenty of yarn to make this a long tunic, and I figured I was going to want to knit my sleeves longer as well. So that is, oh, I didn't even tell you what the name of this sweater was. Silly me. Let's find it. I think it's the Meridian striped pullover, and it's by Marie Green. And so far, it's been very simple to follow along. It's the top-down raglan. Worked in the round. You do a little shaping in the back. Sorry. And then yeah, just continue knitting. This is a definitely a mindless stockinette knit for the body. I got a little over it. That's why I didn't finish it yet, and started casting on socks. But I think I'm about ready to pick it back up again, since it's really not that far away from being done. I already have the next project, the next sweater, ready to go to cast on. I mean, sorry, I've already cast it on. As soon as I get done with the body and the body hem of that sweater, then I can switch over. This is going to be a Clover Tee. It is by Lene Home Samso, I believe is how you pronounce it, but I'll put it on the screen as well. I have already cast on and did the ribbing, so I think I'm ready to put it on longer needles and start knitting the increases. Unless this might be where I start doing the short rows. Yeah, because there are short rows worked prior to the start of the lace pattern. This was intended with 7 to 14 inches of positive ease. And I can't remember the size I'm knitting. I don't have my notes with me right now for what size I'm knitting. I'm currently using a US 3 needle for the ribbing, but I will probably go up to a larger size when I switch to the body. It's been a little while. It's been a minute since I looked at the pattern, and it's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give you too many details anyway, but this is a project you're going to see probably more in my next podcast, because I've just barely gotten it started. I think I was waiting to finish my other one. I'm trying not to have too many whips on my needles because it does overwhelm me when I have too many projects going. I think mostly it is the decision, like when I sit down, what project takes priority. It's hard to make that decision sometimes when you want all of the projects done. So they all have priority. So what do I work on? So then there is the indecision time where it's just sometimes easier to have less projects on the needles, for me anyway. That may not be the same for everyone. And then I think that is all for what is on the needles currently. So now we can talk about the acquisitions that I've gotten and the summer projects that I want to work on, or just projects in general. They don't have to be worn during the summer, but I'm going to knit them during the summer. So I've got some new yarn for Mother's Day, and it is the Pearl Soho linen quill. Isn't this so much fun? So I have been looking at sweaters to make, and I've had this idea in my head for a while. Actually, it's probably been whatever year Pantone's color of the year was like a peach color, whatever year that was, and they brought out all these different like peach and fuchsia colored things. Like, this has been in my head that long, and it was time for me to buy it. I don't know how it's going to look with my complexion, but I don't care. I hope, like, I took a picture of the color and kind of tried to put it next to me to see what it would look like. I just think it's really fun, and so I bought, I think, 3 balls of the peach color, which is the, let's see the actual colorway, Peachy Pink. This is Peachy Pink, and it is linen quill, so it's 50% Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. I don't have anything linen, so I'm really excited to knit a little with some linen. And can I just tell you, this yarn is, I love linen, so this is the next step for me to try knitting with this. I'm pretty excited about this. And then this other color is Pink Pop. So Peachy Pink and Pink Pop. And they're both the same, the linen quill. They are both 100-gram yarn, 100-gram balls, 439 yards. Hand wash cold, lay flat dry, made in Peru. So be looking for a project with these soon. I am thinking about knitting the Coloring Book Tee by Amy Shear. It is a fingering weight gauge at 24 stitches, short shaped neckline. It's a compound raglan. It has really cute underarm ribbing, and you can basically do whatever kind of striping you want. I believe I would prefer wide stripes. So it's mostly going to be the peach, and then it's going to have wide stripes of the fuchsia hot pink color. So I'm very excited to cast that on. Of course, I want to finish the other projects that I have going. So I've got some knitting. I've got some knitting plans. So that's on my list to get done. I already have the yarn for it. Also, I did get one more fun purchase, and that is this beautiful self-striping sock yarn. And this one is called, I thought it said Go Bears, but I think it's just Bears. Go Bears. So this is, obviously, I bought it because there's a lot of people on my husband's side that are Bears fans. And so I know my husband would probably like a pair of socks with this, although he likes more of a DK weight sock. So I may hold it together with something. I don't know. It'd probably be pretty with like a navy tweed or something. Maybe hold it double to make him a fuzzy pair of socks, and then see if I have enough to make another pair for someone else. Maybe a shorty sock pair for me or something. So we can watch them on, or we can wear them on game days. But I got this from a company, or from a cute little yarn shop in New Jersey. It looks like an adorable little yarn shop, and they dye their own yarn. They have some really pretty colorways. If you like, there's a really cute watermelon colorway. There's an apple colorway. There's some different team colorways and some other signature ones. So you just have to check them out. But I thought that was pretty cool. This sock yarn feels really soft and luxurious. It's 85% merino and 15% nylon. This is a 100-gram skein. They have any more information on it? Nope, that's about it. I'm excited to knit this up as well. So hopefully I'll get to that this summer as well. Um, is that all I have? Is that all I have? Maybe. But I also have some other projects in the back of my mind. We can talk about them next time, though. There's always more things there's always more things I want to do than the time that I have to do them in. So now, if you've stuck through this long and you want to hear about the garden, we can talk a little about the garden and how excited I am about it. So if you don't want to stay for the garden chat, thank you so much for watching the knitting, and we will meet back here next month. So the garden has just come to life this spring. We've had a cooler spring this year, and everything's kind of taken a little bit longer to get started. I did start a lot of plants inside this year. I started tomatoes, I started eggplants, I mean, I'm flowers. There's a lot out there. We'll just say that. Pretty much everything out there I started. I only bought a few plants this year from different plant stores. So I've been pretty good. My herbs that have come back are oregano, and my thyme has come back. Mint, obviously. So right behind me, I don't know if you can see it on film, but I had a area where mistakes were made. Let's start there. Mistakes were made, and mint was put into the ground without a containment system for it. So this mint has lived years and years a happy life, taking over the yard. And this year, I'm like, I'm going to try to put an end to this. We will see. I might be digging up mint all year long because every little piece of the mint root, mint can grow up from. So if you don't dig every single bit out, then it will have a chance to come back. So I dug up a huge area back here that was full of mint, pulled roots and roots and roots out, and and then kind of tilled up the ground. So then I needed to plant something. So I planted some red clover back there and then just sprinkled wildflower seeds. And it's not an area where we really walk through. So I'm very anxious to see how pretty it is going to end up being this season. Clover is really coming up. I'm not really worried about the durability because, like I said, we're not going to be walking through it. So I think it's in an area where it will work pretty well in the garden. Now, there is so much weeds, okay? So just embrace them. You're going to see a lot of weeds, a lot of creeping Charlie as we look through the garden because I just can't control him. He is all over the place. um, he's been doing a good job of keeping the ground covered and protecting the soil. So I'm kind of letting him live there for now until some of my other plants get big. The only problem with Creeping Charlie is if you let him take too much of a hold, he will strangle out the plants that you want to live there. So you gotta keep him in check. Let's just say that. Um, so I kind of let him go a little crazy right now, but we're gonna be trimming him back as the season continues. So my grapevine is glorious. I have actually 3 grapevines. One that is loving life in its spot and doing great, and almost looks like it's going to have produce grapes this year, which just blows my mind because it's only been in that spot for 2 years. I have another one that I've moved up next to it that has only been in that spot since the fall of last year. So it's not near the size of my first one up here, but I think that they're both on each side of the arch. I think we're going to have a really beautiful grape arch by the end of the season. I have one more grape at the back of my yard back here, and it was eaten down by rabbits before I realized that they were interested in it. So it is going to have a really good comeback this year if it's going to make it. We'll see. It has leaves on it, so it might make it, and it is now caged so that the rabbits can't get to it. In fact, all of my grapevines are now caged. I think the only reason why the main one survived is because it was so far away in the front of the garden. And by the time I realized they had eaten that one in the back, which I should have known, they eat everything, I put fencing around it, and it was protected after that. Okay, so let's talk about Strawberry Lane. I just found pieces of wood and extra stones and anything that I could use for a pathway because my strawberries were taking over my space. I kind of let the mint and the strawberries go wild last year and just do whatever they wanted. And this spring, I needed a path through my strawberries so that I could hang clothes on the line so I can pick strawberries when they become ripe. So I made a point to dig up plants through the path, and I planted a lot of them in other parts of the yard. I gave some away. I have a little area where I have used raspberry canes that I cut down. So after a raspberry cane is like 2 years old, they're not going to produce anymore. They kind of peel, the bark peels a little. And so I trim them down. I've started using them to create, what do they call it? A dead hedge. So basically you're making a fence out of your free material. So I'm trying to use a lot more found materials and not have to purchase a lot of things in the garden. I try to use what I find. And pretty soon I'll have so much grapevine that I'll have grapevine left over to use for things. So I'm excited about that. But in that bed, I have potatoes, some cabbage, some cauliflower, and then of the raspberries, of course. They are the star of the backyard. Now, I'm kind of letting them get a little out of control. So I will probably rein those back next year and put pathways through them. That's kind of my plan. Right now, they're creeping into the garden area, and I'm just going to kind of let it happen because we got so many raspberries last year, and I'm not sure if this season will be that good. I'm just curious. Sometimes when you have a really good year, the next year you don't have as good of a year. So we'll see. We'll see what we get this year. So I was kind of afraid to completely trim them all down really well and then not get very many raspberries after that. So we're kind of letting them go crazy this year, and then we'll tame them back probably next spring. Then as we walk through the garden, we're seeing my tomatoes. I have a little patch of some specialty tomatoes. Some that I'm really excited about are green zebra tomatoes. They are like bright green on the inside. They're green, they kind of turn a green yellow on the outside when they are ready to harvest, and they're more low acid. They're just so tender. They're like my husband's favorite green tomato that I grow. Sorry, I need to take a drink. I have several spaghetti squash and butternut squash and baby spaghetti squash and baby butternut squash, and I absolutely love butternut squash. So I'm really hoping those do well. So I have those around the yard. I actually have a lot more winter squash than I do pumpkins. So that is the garden right now. And I'm thoroughly enjoying every minute of garden that I get to be out here. It's just it's just lovely to come out and see all the life that is in the garden. It's just fun to open the door and see the birds and the squirrels scatter, and it's even fun to see the rabbits. I just have to keep everything caged that I really want to keep. Like, I don't mind them. If rabbits could just eat the weeds, I mean, I would, that'd be amazing. I would honestly plant things for them that I know they would like to eat if they wouldn't eat the plant. Like, if they would just eat little bits of the plant so that it would continue to grow to provide more food, but they just saw the thing to the ground. You know what I mean? They can't be trusted. Anyway, thank you guys so much. If you've hung out to the end, you are an all-star. Thank you so much for watching. Happy June, everybody. Let's get some knitting done this summer. um, if you are knitting socks this summer, comment. It's a sock knitting summer. No, I mean, comment whatever you want. I'm curious how many people watching are going to be knitting socks this summer as well. I'm planning on knitting a lot of socks this summer, unless I get bored of that and then want to work on sweaters. So, but you'll see that. We'll talk again. We'll talk again in a few weeks. Thanks, guys. See ya.